everybody, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. So as you can see by today's title, this is a video about bullet journaling. Now, I have been bullet journaling for a number of years now, and I don't usually use daily spreads, but there are sometimes, like some months, I will feel like doing a daily spread instead of a weekly. Now, a daily spread is quite different because you usually dedicate like a whole page or a whole spread to one day. So now if you do that all the time, your bullet journal will get used quite frequently and you'll go through multiple bullet journals in a year. So you can do a mixture of daily and weekly or monthly, however you prefer. But on my channel, I do have monthly and weekly bullet journal ideas that you can use in your bullet journal. So if you want to check those videos out, I will leave them linked up above for you. But without further ado, let's get into the daily spreads. This is technically the type of daily that I generally do in my own journal. But usually my list of things to do in one day is so extraordinarily long that I dedicate an entire page, you heard me you guys, an entire page to all of my tasks that I have to do. I wear multiple hats, I've got multiple businesses under my name, and I have 2 kids and I have a household to manage. And like, it seems like my business life is completely separate from my home life, but yet home life is almost like its own business all to itself. So I have an extraordinary amount of things to do in one day. And sometimes I wonder how I get it done. A lot of the things do fall through the cracks, but that's more of my personal things. So anyway, it is what it is. But for those of you who don't use an entire page for a daily to-do list, this is kind of what it would look like. So you simply put the day at the top and then you make your list underneath. That is the simplest way to do a daily spread. And of course, you can add this to the front page of your, like in your index. But if you don't have an index and all you have is your monthly, all you need to do to keep track of your pages, if you use dailies all the time, is to use one of your bookmarks. So then once you're done with your day, so say it comes time, you're about to go to bed, you spend 5 to 10 minutes with your bullet journal, and then you draw the line for the next day, and then you can write out your tasks. I like to do mine the night before because I feel like I write down everything I can think of, and then as I sleep, sometimes I think of additional things to add, or if I come back in the morning, then I think of things to add, and then you can add them. If you prefer to do it in the morning, that's fine as well. You simply draw a line or write the date. I like to write my date in a different font just so I can kind of differentiate between the days. You could also use highlighter. You could use capitals instead of lowercase. You could do a number of things, or you can just put a line and leave it as simple as that. But this is probably the daily spread that takes up the least amount of time. You're literally just writing the date and then your list of things to do. So now moving on to the next one. Now they're getting a bit more structured, and there's many different ways to structure a daily spread. If you simply go online and just look for daily spreads, there's all sorts of ideas. You can even get planners that are daily planners, and you can just write out all of your to-dos on there. So this one, I put the day at the top. You can add the weather if you like. I have daily to-dos. You can add gratitude, and you can have a notes section. So depending on what I'm doing in a particular day, I'll either have a grocery list, a note section. You could even have a journaling section down below if you like. And you can take out gratitude. You can add in affirmations instead. So this next spread actually has a schedule. So as you can see, a lot of these things are on the previous spread. You've got your date, you can add your weather. I've actually added focus goals here. That's one of the things I personally like to do because I theme my days. So depending on what day it is, I do a certain task. It might be editing, it might be writing my blog, might be designing stickers, etc. So I have a daily focus. That's what the majority of my day I want to accomplish. And if I get that 1 or 2 or 3 things accomplished, I will feel completely satisfied with how my day went. The next idea is adding a task list again, or a grocery list or a note section. The schedule the thing that I like about this is that, have you ever noticed if you're looking at a planner, most planners will start either between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. and they'll end between, some of them even end as early as 6 p.m. But most of them end about 8 to 9. And I'm sorry, you guys, but I am an early morning person and a night owl at the same time. I don't get a lot of sleep, and I feel like I don't really need that much sleep. I can survive perfectly well on 4 or 5 hours, and I am functioning fine. So I wake up at 5 most days, and I go to bed about midnight. I would have put midnight on here. It's just I ran out of room, but you could technically start it higher if you wished. And that's the one thing that I like. I don't particularly like having an hourly schedule in a planner or my bullet journal because I have a toddler. So she's 18 months old on the 1st of November, and my day doesn't always go exactly according to plan. If it was just me or if my kids were in school, it might be a bit different, but they're not. And, or at least one of them isn't. So, I mean, and most of the time, I do multiple things. Like if I just say work, I do 5 to 10 things in that couple of hours that I have. So I multitask very efficiently. I can get a lot done in a short amount of time. And the thing that I need more of is focus. So if my daughter is here, I don't focus, so I cannot work. So this doesn't really work for me, but I did give an example of how you would fill it out. So I like to just put whatever it is, and then I kind of put a line down to show what I'm doing. The one thing that would come in handy is if you had a lot of appointments, like if you had a job, you could get an hourly planner and you could write when you're working, you could write when you have meetings, that kind of thing. And that would come in handy because you know your day is a bit more structured. It's just having young kids around, the day is a little bit different. So moving on to the next one, this is just simply putting headers on the page and then putting whatever you need underneath of it. So again, I have a daily focus, and this could be for if you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you want to use your planner or bullet journal for work, or whether you have an online business like myself. So again, daily focus, these would be like the things you absolutely want to get done that day. And I would keep it to no more than 1 to 3 things, because if you overwhelm yourself, you'll get frustrated and give up, and then you won't get anything accomplished. So what I like to do is I put my 3 main tasks. If those get done, I work on them first. And then if they get done, I reward myself. And I also feel good because if they get done, I'm good. If I get additional things done, then it's even better. So here you could have a gratitude list. I have a daily check-in. So for journal or notes, if you want to write down how you're feeling or how the day went or any successes in your life. Tomorrow's plan, so especially if it's like an appointment heavy day, or if you need if you need to write down a note to remember for the next day. And then I just put a little quote here beside it. So the next spread is very similar to having a schedule, except I like this a little bit better because, again, in my situation, I have a toddler. So I find it better to accommodate a morning schedule, afternoon, and evening rather than specific times of the day. So I put the date, and again, I used some fancy writing because that's me. I like to use calligraphy in my bullet journal, but you can simply just write the date like normal. I have added the little weather icon plus the temperature. And then here I have broken up into 2 sections, personal and work. So personal, I have it broken up in the morning, afternoon, evening, and then this is all the stuff I want to get done for home and all the stuff I want to get done for work. So I personally like this better because, again, I have more morning tasks, my afternoon tasks, and my evening tasks, and in my head, it makes a bit more sense. But if you were working at a job where you had a dedicated schedule, you knew what you had to do, and you had appointment heavy days, maybe the hourly would work better. So the next one I show, again, you can use different fonts in your journal and also use highlighters, you guys. It's probably one of the easiest things to do when it comes to different sections in your notebook. So you could have tasks, and again, I split it up into morning, afternoon, evening. I have a section for things going on the next day. Then there's gratitude, a check-in, so you can write a little journaling piece here if you wish, affirmations, and things to buy. So this is kind of a lot, but you see how simple it can be. It doesn't have to be structured. You don't have to draw pretty boxes or have it lettered everywhere. You just simply write it down in your normal handwriting and give it a highlight so that you know where the topics are. And then you can just go ahead, write whatever you need to, and you've got everything written down. If you have important notes, don't put it on a sticky note, put it in your bullet journal. So the next ones are a little bit more structured, as you can see. So this one is kind of, I guess, taking aspects of the first spreads and just kind of rearranging them on the page. So again, there's a schedule. I have 5 to 9 on here. And then there's a focus, a gratitude, a task section, and then groceries or to buy. Again, I'm using highlighters to show the different sections. This one, if you have a little bit more time, you can draw out boxes and you can decorate them. So you can see how this could get a little bit more time consuming as you go forward. So again, there's a focus. So in my case, I would put film, edit, maybe dishes or something. Gratitude, you could put 3 things that you're grateful for during your day, a little journaling section. Other tasks, so this could be miscellaneous tasks. So again, if these don't get finished, your day is still a success if you get your focus items done. And then a section for the next day. And then the very last spread I have to show you is again a combination of ones like this. It's just structured in a different way. So you've got your hourly task list. Again, I like it because I can go from 5 a.m. to 10. And then I've kind of broken this up into a big enough section where if you wanted to break it up into half, you could. And there's a focus area, gratitude, or task. And you can change these topics to anything that you wish. So whatever works for you, that is the point of a bullet journal, is to do it to accommodate yourself. You're not making it for anybody else, and you need it to work for you. And I think that's why a lot of people give up on the bullet journal or think it's too time consuming, but these spreads are not that time consuming. This honestly took me 2 minutes and I still drew out boxes. And I didn't even use a ruler, as you can probably tell. And if you use a ruler, I mean, you'll get straight lines, but it's a bit more time consuming. So it's completely up to you how you create your bullet journal, how you use it. And this just really helps to ground me. I love writing with pen on paper, and it helps me to be more organized. I know where all of my information is, and I just simply have to come to my bullet journal and to take a look, and there it is. So I hope this video gave you some insights as to how to use your bullet journal as a productive tool that works for you. I did write a blog. I will leave that linked down below if you guys are curious and you want to take a look. But without further ado, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And last but not least, I always say click on that bell button to receive further content from me. You'll be updated every time I post a new video. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.